Okay, everybody. Today I want to just do a quick comparison. I've had a lot of people tell me that I should have got the high output with the Iacin and the automatic airbag leveling system. And I'm going to show you in a minute why I did not do that. Now, when I bought my truck, this is the new 2020 Ram 3500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 8-foot box. It's the exact same truck as mine. Mine is a 2018 model. I bought it in late 2019. So mine is a 2018 model. It's a 3500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 8-foot box. Same exact truck. This is even the same color of my truck. It is exactly the same truck, only it's a 2020 model. It has the high output Cummins. It has the Iacin transmission, and it has the leveling system. That is the only thing. Now, first of all, let me just put this out there. I'm not sold on the automatic airbag leveling system. It does nothing to increase your payload capacity. It does nothing to increase your towing capacity. The only thing the airbag system does is it levels your truck out. That is all. I don't need that. My trailer weighs 11,000 pounds, fully loaded. It doesn't even hardly squat my truck. I don't need to level my truck out. It's a moot point for me in my case, but I'm just not sold on the airbag system itself anyhow. All right. So that right there, I could not justify spending extra money on the airbag system when I will never need it. Okay. Now, the high output and the Iacin. Well, they say the high output gives you a higher tow rating. All right. Let me dispel that myth, because a higher tow rating, that may be true. It's not a myth. Let me backtrack that statement. That may be true, but that also is a moot point, because your tow rating is your least important of all your numbers. You have your payload capacity, your axle weight rating, your tire weight rating, and then your towing capacity. Towing capacity is the least important. Why do you worry about being able to tow a heavier truck if you don't have the payload capacity to support the pin weight of a heavier truck? All right, let's scroll down. I want to just show you this real quick. Don't get me wrong. This is a beautiful truck. Okay, I'm not knocking the truck. I'm just trying to show you why I went with the options that I went with versus getting the high output and all that other stuff. That's all. All right, so if we scroll down here under included package options, you'll see that it has the 6.7. It's the high output Cummins. And then it's got the auto leveling, you'll see there. And this truck has the Iacin transmission. Anytime you ever hear anybody say they have a high output Cummins, then you know they have the Iacin. Or if they say they have an Iacin, you know they have the high output. It's the way they pair the two together. They come hand in hand. Okay, so let's scroll up here, because I want you to look at, this is the numbers I want you to look at. We're going to look at specs and dimensions. And the third line down is your payload capacity. All right. The payload capacity of this truck is 4,270 pounds. That's a pretty good number. That's up there quite a bit. You can put quite a bit in this truck. Okay. That's a lot of weight. However, the payload capacity of my truck is 5,760 pounds. A difference of 1,490, almost 1,500 pounds more payload capacity in my truck than what is in this truck. Okay? So, that right there was a big deal for me. I am all about payload, guys and gals. I am all about the payload capacity, because, like I said, it means no difference if you have a higher tow rating, but you don't have a payload capacity to support the heavier trailer. So, how do you figure your pin weight? Well, different people have different varying rationales for how they attain the pin weight. They go to the manufacturer specs. You can't use those numbers because they're using empty trailer weights. You cannot use the payload, the pin weight of an empty trailer. How many people do you know that buy a fifth wheel and then tow it around empty? You cannot use that number. You have to use the maximum weight that's on that pin. How do you get that? Well, some people say 10%, some people say 15%, some people say 20%. All right? I'm a guy that believes you should never operate any piece of equipment at its max capacity ever. So I go with 20%. That gives you a good little cushion number there. Okay? So every time I figure these calculations, I use 20% of the gross vehicle weight rating. My trailer, I'm going to compare these two with my trailer. My trailer has a gross vehicle weight rating of 11,000 pounds. Yes, it is a light trailer. I bought it that way for a reason. Okay? So, 11,000 pounds. If you take 20% of 11,000 pounds, that gives you a pin weight of 2,200 pounds. See what I did there? I took the maximum weight my trailer could possibly ever weigh, which is 11,000 pounds. I didn't use the empty weight. I used the heavy weight, the higher side. All right, I took 20%, which gives you a little bit of cushion there. I took 20%, that gives you 2,200 pounds. If you take 5,760 and deduct 2,200 pounds, that leaves me with 3,560 pounds of free payload after I have connected my trailer fully loaded to my truck. Okay? Now, you have to also deduct my weight, my wife's weight, fuel, anything I'm going to put in the truck, any goodies, any drinks, any snacks, any foods, tools, whatever. I'm going to use a number of 1,000 pounds. Okay? So if I take 3,560 and deduct another 1,000 pounds, that leaves me with 2,560 pounds of free payload after my truck has been connected to my fully loaded trailer and is fully loaded with everything I'm going to put in it. 2,560 pounds, let's just say 2,500 pounds of free payload. That means I still have room to put up to 2,500 pounds more into my truck. All right, that's more than the pin weight of my trailer. See that? By design. That's not something that's coincidental. I did that by design. All right, let's look at this truck. 4,270 pounds of payload capacity. You deduct 15 or 20% of the 11,000 pounds, again, gives you 2,200 pounds. Okay, after you deduct 2,200 pounds from your 4,270, that leaves you with 2,070 pounds. We'll just say 2,000 pounds of free payload capacity after I hook up my trailer fully loaded. Now, we're going to use the same 1,000 pounds for me, the wife, fuel, and all the knickknacks and goodies. All right? So if you take 2,070 pounds, deduct 1,000, that leaves you with 1,070 pounds. Let's just say 1,000 pounds of free payload. You see the difference? My truck has 2,500 pounds of free payload capacity versus this truck with a high output, Aisin and airbags only has 1,000 pounds, almost 1,500 pounds less than what my truck's capacity is. Do you see the difference? And it's like that. I did that by design. I looked at these numbers. Guys, I know my tow ratings. I understand weight distribution. I know my numbers. It's important that you know your numbers because, look, I go out there, I see these guys. They got these trucks, they got these big toy haulers on them, and they're squatting in the rear end, and you can hear they've got their foot in the throttle, and they're just struggling to make it down a flat, straight road. Here I come in my truck, cruise control set at 75 miles an hour, air conditioner going, stereo blasting, one hand on the wheel, passing them like they're not even there. Okay? Do you see the difference? That's the point I'm trying to get at. Just because someone says you should have something doesn't mean you should have that. Just because someone says you should get something doesn't mean you should get that. What you should do is you should study your numbers. Look at the trailer that you're going to get. Go to the RV shows. Go to the RV dealerships. Go and don't listen to the dealers because they're going to just try to sell you something to sell it. Most of them don't even understand tow numbers. Most of your dealers don't even understand tow numbers. Okay? They're just trying to make a deal. And I'm going to tell you, most of your truck salesmen don't know this stuff either. They just want to make a commission. Okay? Forget about trying to count on somebody else to tell you what to do. You need to know what you need to do. Go out, find a trailer that you like. Look at the different plans out there. Find something you like, and then go look at the sticker on there. Look at the gross vehicle weight rating number. That's the number. Write that number down because that's the most important number of any of the other numbers. And write that down. Better yet, take a picture of that sticker. Then, when you find the plan you want, you do the numbers just like I just showed you, and then you go find a trailer that fits within those numbers. A truck that fits within those numbers. Okay? But you want to find a truck that has higher numbers. This is how I did it. First of all, this isn't my first 3500 and it's not my first RV and all of that. So I've been in this game for a while. I also, I know towing. I know I do have a CDL. I understand, driving tractor trailer trucks and all this other stuff. All I'm trying to tell you is go look at trailers first. People go buy trucks and then they end up having to buy a trailer that fits that truck. That's wrong. Go look at your trailer first and then find a truck that will fit that trailer. All right? So go to the RV shows, go to the dealerships, look at your trailers, find a floor plan you like, snap a picture of the data plate, then go look at trucks and find a truck that has higher numbers than the data plate on that RV. Then you know that you can at least tow easily the trailer that you want or something lighter if that's what it turns out. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Know your numbers. Because like I said, I pass these guys with these HOs and all this other, and these mega cabs and all this. I pass them with the cruise control on, going down flat straights, or I pass them going up hills. I see them. They're squatting in the rear end. They're struggling to get up the hill, and I got my cruise control on, and I'm driving right by them. Okay? Because I know my truck has way more capacity than what my trailer is. Way more. My numbers on my trailer are low. And I was actually looking at a different trailer that was heavier, and there was a few determining factors, same floor plan and everything else, but there was a few determining factors that made me choose the trailer that I got. That's up to you. You'd get what you want. I'm just telling you, I already knew the numbers of my trailer when I went to buy my truck. So I knew I was looking actually at a heavier trailer, a much heavier trailer. So I knew that if my truck, the truck that I picked, would tow that heavier trailer that I really liked, this trailer is actually a lot lighter. I know without a shadow of a doubt that my truck's going to pull this trailer. I know I'm rambling here. I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to explain to you the best way to go if you're going to start, if you're looking at getting into RVing, or even if you're looking at getting into hotshot trucking. Okay? Figure out your weights, where you want to be on your trailer, and then buy the truck that will easily tow that trailer. That's the proper way to do it. So, just because somebody says you should have this doesn't mean you should have that. You need to look at where you want to be as far as your numbers are concerned, and then you need to go and get what you want and what you need, not what somebody else tells you. Okay? My answer to those that tell me, well, why didn't you get the high output, or you should have got the high output? I tell them, you go buy your high output. I got the truck I want. You see? I didn't settle for something. I got what I wanted. I got what I needed. I got what I knew I had to have. You see, there's the difference. So I just wanted to, that's why this video, I just wanted to show you this video. This is a nice truck. Don't get me wrong. This is a beautiful truck, but I'm just telling you that people will tell you, oh, well, the high output will tow more. No, it doesn't necessarily mean it will tow more. It has a higher tow rating, but if you have a lower payload capacity, what good does it mean to have a higher tow rating? In theory, this truck has a higher tow rating number, okay, because that works on horsepower to compression ratio and all of that stuff. That's what they're looking at, okay? They're looking at your bulk horsepower, your torque numbers, and all this other stuff. That's what they're looking at. That's why they say you have a higher tow rating. A tow rating means nothing. Your payload capacity, if you have a higher tow rating and a lower payload capacity, you're not going to be able to get to that higher tow rating to begin with. They're talking about the torque specs in the engine and the transmission and the differential and the rear end and all of that stuff. That's what they're talking about. Know this stuff, folks, before you get all worked up on, well, I have a higher tow rating, and well, I have a Ram, or I have a Ford, or I have a GMC, or I have a, whatever, and my trailer, I tow this with no problem. Yeah, the truck's going to tow it, but just because it tows it doesn't mean it's towing it safely. You see that? I'm talking about jumping in my truck and putting my wife in my truck and knowing that I'm going to cruise control, one-handed steering, and chilling down the road, man, versus white knuckling. Oh my God, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? See, there's a difference there, because when I get to my destination, I'm comfortable. I'm not all sweat. I'm not all wore out. I'm not tired because I'm not white knuckling the steering wheel. Know your numbers, people. I can't tell you that enough. Know your numbers. All right. Like I said, don't buy something because everybody tells you to buy something. Buy something because it's what you want and what you need. And know your numbers, guys. Know your numbers. All right. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.